Hi everyone. Hola. Let's see if I can get this like slightly less crazy right here. Cool. What's up everybody? Is anybody in the chat yet? So we're gonna be doing something a little bit more casual this week. It's gonna be less focused on Fashion Month and a little more. What's up? Hi. How's it going? We're gonna be doing something a little bit more freeform this week. It's gonna be less focused on Fashion Month stuff and more just focused on conversation, like the way that we used to do it. What's up, Alfie? And yeah, so ultimately, I guess this live stream is mostly going to be headed up by you all, kind of letting me know like what you want to like talk about. So yeah, we're here. Hello. Oh, cool. What's up, Jan? Yeah, I was disappointed when I saw that you could not make it to this one, but here you are. All right, so I'm gonna pull up the stream right here instead of on my phone, so I'm not like constantly like smacking my phone. Let's see. Pop this chat, please. Pop out chat. Yeah. Okay. Can I still see pop out chat if yeah. What's up, Henry? Oh yeah, sorry. I guess we're doing this during the Super Bowl, aren't we? Oh yeah, I am not a Super Bowl guy. I've never been into sports. That's something that I get from both of my parents. It's weird. Like the rest of my family is super into sports, like my extended family. But yeah, I played sports as a kid. Actually wanted to play football really, really badly when I was a very little kid. But there was a doctor that recommended that for specific reasons related to my health as a young man, he was like, this kid should not play football. And so there was just a rule, like Bliss is not allowed to play football. So yeah, I am hoping that Kansas City wins though, because they have not won a Super Bowl in a super long time. And if they win, then the people from Kansas City are going to act fucking crazy. And that's really the only reason that I like these sports events is like, oh my gosh, when the Cubs won the World Series recently, I didn't watch the game at all. But as soon as I had heard that they had won, I took to Twitter and I spent literally like 4 or 5 hours just like refreshing the feed and watching all of the buck wild shit that people were doing as celebration. One dude ate horse shit off of the ground. Horse shit off of the ground. He like had his little Cub scarf and he like moved it out of the way and he ate, like using his face, ate horse shit off the ground. So I'm looking for KC to win so I can see some more people eating horse shit off the ground. Which is pretty horrible, I will admit. It's pretty horrible. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm interested in. So yeah, as I was saying to everybody else, yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty small chat this week. But I'm really glad that you all are here, because I guess the rest of the people are watching the Super Bowl. But yeah, let's take some questions. What do you guys want to talk about? We got Apoikia, I guess. What are your thoughts on Goomhio? I don't know what that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize some stuff here and look that up. Goomhio. Let's look at some images. Google Images is probably a terrible way to get introduced to a designer, but that's what we're going to do. Goomhio seems to be very fixated on stripes and color blocks and like heavy garment layering. What is this? South Korean designer? Yeah, CSM grad. Cool. Yeah, it looks like somebody just graduated and oh, they've been featured in One Granary, which is a cool magazine. Yeah, just graduated a few years ago from CSM and has started this little brand. Very like clubwear kind of stuff. That's cool. I would have to like know more about it to like have a really firm thought on it. It's a little it's kind of like very advanced TikTok style, like very advanced e-boy style. Um, just horribly. Let's see. Oh, is that what those are? Okay, so someone just said like Goomhayo is cool, but the cups are a lot. And yeah, it looks like they are wearing genital cups there. I don't know. Yeah, that is pretty corny, but that does have a historic precedent. I forget what they're called. What are those called? Like those things that are like just sort of like little like pockets for your dick. In oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me. Like as soon as somebody mentions it, I'm gonna like be like, oh, of course, cod pieces, cod pieces. Um, what's up, Andrew? Goodbye, Andrew. um, yeah, cod pieces. So there is a historic precedent for it, and also, guys, it's hard being a designer. Like you got to think of new things that other people aren't doing when there are like millions of other people making clothes. Like it is hard as shit being a fashion designer. And I can see why someone would resort to like being like let's do like a cod piece thing with sports cups but on the outside of clothing. Here we go. I can see why someone would resort to that. The pressures, the unrealistic pressures of modern fashion. Okay. What's up, Arturo? Arturo said this is the only live event that matters today. Thank you, Arturo. I agree. Imagine watching the Super Bowl when there's a live stream happening. Seriously, yeah. What's up, Champ? Champ is a bro and a half because Champ. I just recently got some clothes from Champ. He runs a brand called Hybrid, and holy shit, some extremely cool stuff from Hybrid. I'm wearing like their T-shirt right now, but got a few things, and they're very epic, and you will all be seeing a lot of those pieces here very soon because I think I'm just going to start wearing them all the time. It just seems tacked on to me, not integrated into clothes so much. Yeah, JM, yeah, the cod pieces are a little, I don't actually like that. I'm not actually defending it. Looks pretty goofy. Okay, so someone else brought up another designer called Hachi Balmong. Or just Balmung, Balmung. Jeez, my computer is such trash. I'm getting a new phone in about a week because the one that I am currently streaming on is like actually about to die. And next month I'm copying a new computer because I don't know how much longer this can go on like this. Plus it's going to be so excellent when the new computer comes around because I will actually have like real things for streaming then, and we'll be able to actually do some really cool stuff with the live streams. All right, so I'm looking through Balmong's stuff right now. This is a Japanese brand. They're based out of Tokyo. This is aight. I always feel like for Japanese brands that I need some kind of I need some sort of like help understanding the like cultural forces that brought it out. Yeah, I'm not sure I get this like right off top. Looking through a few more images here. Yeah, I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I love it. This is just very I don't know. I'm sort of over the use of like brightly colored trash as an aesthetic thing. It sort of makes me like on an emotional level, it makes me feel very like hopeless. But that doesn't really have anything to do objectively with the design of the clothes. These designs just sort of seem a little bit art school to me. Not very fully fleshed out. These don't look finished really, which I know is a complaint that was like lobbed at like Helmut Lang and Martin Margiela and stuff. What's up? I don't know how to pronounce your username. Guns with a Z. What's up? But yeah, a lot of these kind of look like half-finished ideas. But again, I do want to qualify that with like the fact that I do feel like Japanese fashion is something that is very well thought out, and that usually one could usually benefit of having a little bit of contextualization from somebody before one passes full judgment on it. So let's go back a little bit. Oh yeah, so I'm reading this book right now. Someone said blow Amatura up so everyone can be educated. Yeah, so I'm reading this incredible book right now. I'm listening to the audiobook called Amatura, which is Ametora, which is insane. It's so good. I've pretty much been listening to that all day. Amatura kind of follows the history of Japanese Americana. So like how Americana, like American goods, American style got to Japan, and how that, like the story of like how that really took a firm hold in Japanese culture. And it's really, really good. I'm having an excellent time listening to it. For those who do like have difficulty like sitting down and finding time or finding focus to just like read, the audiobook is really, really good for this. So, and I say that like that because I very regularly have a lot of difficulty just like sitting down and just like reading a book. Very hard for me to focus on that. But yeah, thank you. What's up, CI? Any excitement for the return of Ator Throop? Never known how to pronounce that. Never said it out loud. Aitor Throop. I didn't ever really look into them when they were a thing. Yeah, new object research is the actual like line. Argentinian, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, avant-garde label. Yeah, always cool to see them doing stuff. Anybody like in that genre of the like avant-garde, trying to like really push the boundaries and stuff. That's always exciting. I know nothing about them, to be honest with you. Let's see. Oh yeah, someone just said, do I like Palomo Spain? This is one that I just recently started looking into. Honestly, like, guys, a lot of times you all are more up on emerging labels than I am. Pretty much anything here that like I do know about, like if I ever say like, yes, I have heard of that, like almost completely brand new brand, it's because I was DMing with one of you all and you told me about them. People ask me all the time for resources and stuff to like keep up with what's happening like right this second in fashion, and I'm like, engage with like start a YouTube channel and then engage with a few thousand of your followers on Instagram. That's how I do it. I don't love the aesthetic like right off bat, but again, I'm just like Google imaging it. I think we talked about this a little bit during the Paris Fashion Week video or the Paris Fashion Week live stream. This looks like it can be contextualized in a cool way. Yeah. This is cool. Yeah, someone just asked about the Balenciaga runway analysis video. So for those who do not follow me on Instagram, which why? The what we did was we took a recent Balenciaga show, the one that had all like the blue in the background and like had the models' faces with the weird like prosthetics on their cheekbones and stuff. And what we did was we posted 4 runway looks from that show per day to my Instagram story. And then I just said, like, if you notice any references or if any of these looks remind you of anything, or if you're like, oh, that's an unusual detail here, anything at all, if you notice anything and can make any kind of connection with them, please message me that connection. And I got probably somewhere between like 800 and 1,000 responses. I got a fucking shit ton of responses. It was a lot. A lot of those responses were generally expressing the same thought, but it was really cool to kind of see like certain trends and stuff rise out of this, and certain responses, and like people like reacting in different ways to different things. And yeah, it was really cool. I've recorded that video, so I'm not gonna like editorialize that at all. I'm literally just going to like read off like what you all pushed out from it. I'm gonna try not to editorialize, but I've filmed that whole video, and I'm actually editing it tonight. I don't know when it's actually gonna come out. We have a Margiela episode coming out this week on Tuesday, and then I think we're gonna do the Balenciaga episode after that. I think that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, thanks for asking about that. Someone said, how do you feel about this past fashion week as a whole? I really like where fashion is at right now. I think we're at a cool place, especially in menswear, where like we're really trying to push the envelope a little bit. It's expanding. The world of menswear is expanding, and that's thrilling. It's very, very cool. Women's wear has opened up and done like so many things over the past like 100 years. I mean, just like women, 100 years, maybe 120 years. I mean, just like the women shifting from like only being in like dresses and stuff to like, oh, women wear like pants, like that. Just that little very tiny change that now is something that like women just like shift in between dresses and pants, like it's literally not a big deal at all, because it's not. Just that little shift like just made such a huge deal aesthetically. And I feel like men are we're sort of like crouched at the doorway, ready to jump through and do. I don't know if necessarily it's like men wearing dresses is going to be like commonplace, but yeah, I feel like we're ready to really branch out and do something different. I don't know what. I'm pretty terrible at predicting trends, to be honest. I'm so like focused on like what I want that I'm terrible at figuring out what everybody else is going to do. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with where fashion is at, and fashion weeks this week and this other stuff. Someone asked how often I stream. I stream every week. On Sundays, I stream. Let's see. Oh yeah, also, hey guys, I have a Patreon. You should definitely support it. It would be like really sick if we got 2 new patrons over the course of this live stream. When you do that, you get to watch the upcoming episode early. You get to watch a week ahead of everybody, and you're also supporting the channel, making it where we can push out more content. right now we're upgrading some things so that the channel can flourish a little bit more, and so we can have more capabilities and be able to do more things, crank out episodes quicker. But yeah, I mean, the biggest deal, as JM just pointed out, is that the Discord channel that you get access to after you start supporting the Patreon is great. It's a really incredible group of people. There's like 100-ish. How many people are on there, JM? It's like 100-ish people, maybe. It's enough people that there's consistently a lot of conversation every day, but it's not so many people like on some Discord channels where it's like you can't even respond to stuff before it doesn't even make sense in what's happening anymore, because there's just like so many responses just being blasted through. Yeah, Mark is on there as well. What's up, Mark? But yeah, patreon.com/blissfoster. About as simple as it can be. Yeah, go support me on Patreon, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, Ronan Scar, what's up? Didn't even realize you're in here. Pointed out that Ed Maynor was a really good show at Paris Fashion Week, and his was my favorite. Out of all the designers that I had not seen prior to that live stream, Ed Maynor was by far my favorite. Ed is spelled H-E-D, and Maynor is M-A-Y-N-E-R. Yeah, Ed Maynor was great. I don't know about the storytelling or whatever for the brand. I don't know about it in a normal Bliss Foster way yet, but just looking at the clothes, I was like, I would love to own this stuff. This looks great. Someone asked what I think about Aleeks. I love Aleeks. I think Aleeks is great. It's actually, because I haven't been there in a long time, I'm going to look up their Instagram. I've not looked at their stuff in a long time. Okay. That is not Aleeks. Let's see. ALYX is not owned by Aleeks the company, unfortunately. They have not landed that Instagram account. That's hilarious. Aleeks Studio. That's their actual IG. Oh yeah, okay. So I remember this now, because we're looking at it. I don't know, it does seem a little bit like Aleeks is sort of calming down. I don't really know what to think here. They have leaned so strongly into that roller coaster buckle thing. I mean, it's going on hats, it's going on bracelets. It's cool looking, like, no doubt. It is a very cool looking thing. It's just, geez, like, this is an awful lot. And I mean, Matthew Williams has, I think that guy is brilliant. Matthew's a really smart dude. But I wonder if maybe he's kind of gearing up here to do something else, to do another project. So I imagine this has been very lucrative for him. Why am I not following Aleeks? That's kind of weird. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to sell the company at some point soon and move on somewhere else. Or maybe just like kind of appoint another creative director and dip. Does anyone know off top, like when Aleeks started? Was that like 4 years ago, maybe? 3 years ago? Not sure. I'm looking for the next thing. What do you think about Aleeks? Ed Maynor is great. Reese Cooper, we talked about Reese Cooper during the Paris Fashion Week live stream. I don't want to like recap all the Paris designers again. Oh, someone just asked, where did you gain the confidence to approach such a huge task of becoming somewhat of a fashion academic? First of all, just to be clear, I know what you mean, Dr. Irish, but yeah, I'm definitely not an academic, just to be totally clear about that. Academics are people who have advanced degrees in their field of study. And while that may sound like kind of gatekeepy, like, oh, anybody can be an academic if you're like very intentional about learning and stuff, that's really not true, because academia provides a atmosphere of peer review and real expert criticism that you can't get just by sitting at your computer at home. Even if you're engaging with like friends who also know stuff about the thing or whatever, the element of having your peers, your academic peers, reviewing your work and saying, this is not good enough, this part doesn't make sense, like this part of your like thesis like doesn't line up with this part of your paper, like having that element and that amount of detailed like chiseling away at your stuff, that's, in my opinion, very important, and it is totally separate of what I do. What I do ultimately, and it kind of makes me like cringe up a little bit to like even say this, but what I do is infotainment. It's a very digestible way of diving deeper than most places, I will say. I think that that's definitely true. I go a lot deeper than most YouTube channels and honestly most fashion publications. But this is not academic work, technically. I don't know. I've spent a lot of, I guess the question is, how did you gain the confidence to approach this thing of becoming somewhat of a fashion academic? I've always been like a weirdly confident person for certain things. I guess I felt pretty good about it because I had read so much loose information online and like had listened to so many podcasts and like talked on so many forums and stuff that it just felt like when I was hanging out with my friends that were into clothes and like someone would bring up something about like, you know, whatever brand, I would like suddenly be like, oh, did you know that like whatever, and I would just kind of like spout off, just sort of do like a really amateurish impromptu like off the top of my head version of like what I do on the channel. And I did that enough, and you guys have no idea how annoying that is in just regular conversation. Like, I do not recommend doing that. Your friends will gently pull you aside and tell you to shut the fuck up. But after doing that enough times, I was like, I feel pretty confident about what I'm saying, and I feel like I have opinions that I can at least back up with like a little bit of proof and some substantiation. And so I just kind of started making the stuff that I had been looking for myself, which was just a deeper dive into the analysis side of fashion, just kind of treating it the way that art gets treated and that novels get treated and stuff, just giving it that same deep reading and analysis. And I guess it wasn't so much a like, oh my gosh, can I do this? It was just sort of like, nobody else is doing this, and I really want someone to, so I guess I will jump in and do it. But yeah, I don't know. My parents were really good about being encouraging, but I don't know, because both of my little brothers have a very different kind of confidence than I do. Like, they are both really confident in ways that like I'm very unconfident, and I feel like I'm much more willing to like throw myself out there in a way that like I don't think either of them would be very willing to do. So I don't know. I am confident, but not about everything. There's a lot of stuff where I like shrivel up and like want to die. Anyway, Guns told me to watch my mouth. That was a really long time ago. I don't know what I was supposed to watch my mouth about, but no, fuck you, Guns. Just kidding. You're a cool guy, Guns. Okay, so Kane asked, what makes you cringe in regards to design and fashion? What makes your blood boil? I'm trying really hard to get myself into a place where I'm not... I have such a strong tendency. For those who watched the Bliss Foster interview thing that went up this week, you maybe already heard me say this, but like I have such a strong tendency to be like, this sucks, this is awesome and is the best thing, but this always sucks no matter what. And I've been trying really hard to rid myself of that inclination when it comes to really everything, because that's not a very useful way of thinking about things. I guess like really the only things that make me feel like this is stupid is when I'm seeing things that are clearly playing into a trend that has kind of already gotten slurped up. Like um like right now, if somebody was trying to do like a new runway show, but it was very like streetwear inspired, like the like 2013 like height of streetwear, and like that was like their primary like inspiration, and they were doing stuff like that. I guess that would make me kind of frustrated, because it's just like what, like everything that can be said on that like has been said at this point. We're in like a very different era. Why are you trying to do like oversized hoodies with like super long sleeves on them? Like why is this happening? So I guess really only when like people play into trends that just kind of are done and have already been said. That's the only thing really that makes me frustrated. Sorry, if you were like looking for me to like say like I hate stripes. If you put stripes on clothes, then fuck you. Then I don't I don't know if I really have anything for you. I think that menswear is promising, but women's fashion is still far ahead, with the exception of 4 or so designers. Yeah, that's true. Someone asked where I got my undercover orange juice pouch. That is from Grailed. Somebody was selling like a bazillion of the undercover pouches for like 40 bucks each, and I bought 2 of them. And I love them. I don't get to use them very much, but I do like them an awful lot. Let's see. Dang, I keep like trying to scroll in the chat and it keeps not working. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. Hang on one second. Oh, Ronan Scar, join the Discord. I'm now back in where I was in the chat, so I can actually like read here. All right, somebody said Deseka said, any opinions on unisex or genderless clothing? Do you think that one day that we'll have a section in shop, it will have a section in shops as men and women's wear do? I guess that's what that meant. Yeah, genderless and unisex clothing. I need to do like a whole episode on genderless and unisex clothing, because I don't know if that term even really works for like what's going on. Really what genderless and unisex clothing means is it means frumpy men's clothing. That's mostly how that term gets thrown around right now, which is pretty disappointing, to be totally honest with you. Say something edgy. Speak your mind, Mustafa Rivers. Do it. Do it, coward. Just kidding. What do you want to say? Oh, man. Geo basket. Good one, Mustafa. All right, so it's just frumpy menswear, a lot of it. Like when these companies come out and they're like, we believe at Madewell, we believe that all fashion is genderless. Here at The Gap, we believe that we should end gender. Like that is such horseshit. It is not even funny. Like they do not think that. do not like, oh my gosh. Like I obviously like my whole channel is about corporations selling things to us and us buying them and then wearing them and talking about how instead of having a fully fledged out personality and friends, I have clothes. But like it is such garbage when like brands are just like, do this like silly one-off marketing thing, or like Tommy Hilfiger getting Grace Jones to perform during their runway presentation. Like that is such pander, in my opinion, that is such pandery horseshit. That's okay. Wait, here's what makes my blood boil in fashion is pandery horseshit. When like that, like at the same time, Tommy Hilfiger was doing this just insanely stupid like thing that was based on astrology or something, and it's like that's fine if like a brand wants to do something about astrology, like that's great, and there's lots of brands that would fit very naturally into. Tommy Hilfiger is not one of those brands. It's dumb as fuck. Like there's this is them being like, hey, like, are you, I don't know, oh my gosh. That does make my blood boil a little bit. That's what I do not like a lot is when things are like so I mean really good marketing. I used to work in marketing, so like there's really great things in marketing that very genuinely speak to a group of people and can demonstrate like some sort of allegiance, as much as an allegiance as there can be between a company and a person. I don't even really know how I feel about that being like a part of life, but it just kind of is. There's lots of stuff that speaks like with earnestness to people, but this thing where it's just kind of like, what's a market with a lot of money that we don't have a lot of stuff from? Kind of like liberal white women. Okay, well, let's do a thing about astrology and we'll get all those like dumb liberal white women to come like buy our clothes. Obviously, like liberal white women are not dumb. I was speaking in like terms of the company. But that just feels incredibly pandery, and like people know when like when companies are acting like that. People know when you just paid Grace Jones a lot of money, and I mean good on Grace Jones, like get your check, that's great, but like that is so clearly like, you guys are, Tommy Hilfiger is not about LGBTQ, right? It's like that's not, you guys are not, this is not a real thing. You guys are putting on this thing, and you know what audience is going to be coming to fashion shows, and you know that the vast majority of the people who are people who are there because you pay their bosses advertising money, and so they're making you go. It's silly. It's very silly. So that's what I do not like. I don't like pandery marketing things. It's just like, do you like GeoBasket? Well, then you should buy our jeans. Sorry if like talking into the microphone was upsetting. I don't know if that actually like was like peeking out the mic or something. My bad if it was. Okay, next question before I continue just being super mad. Okay. In a time of dwindling retail where everyone from Need Supply to Gap is failing, where do you see fashion businesses at in a few years? I have no idea. I have no clue. I keep up with the stories of fashion designers. I don't really know what can fix that problem. I have no idea. And I feel like it's, I don't know. I get so confused at like how many people have an opinion about this. Like this is so, like people will like read like a Business of Fashion article and start like being like, you know what the real problem is? It's like supply chain demand or something. And it's like, I have no idea for real what will fix this retail problem. But I do think that in like 20 years, we're going to have an awful lot of space that isn't being used by retailers anymore. It's going to be like East Germany, like right after the wall falls, where it's just like, wow, what are we going to do with all of these empty buildings? Hundreds and hundreds of empty buildings. We will have a rave revolution in the United States. Illegal warehouse raves will flourish. That is what I predict. I love pineapple pizza. Pineapple is it's the best thing to go on pizzas. That was a question someone asked. That's the answer. Do you think that we could see a return to more elegant menswear and tailoring on the runway in the near future, or do you think more contemporary streetwear will continue to dominate? Well, I can tell you that I sort of hope not because I don't really like tailoring. Um, I own a suit. I own one suit. It is blue. I don't like wearing it. There's not a lot about suits that gets me very excited because there's not a lot of unless you're really innovating. Like a Bossy Rossborough makes a fucking sick suit. They're incredibly good at making suits. I like Comme des Garçons suits. I like Yoji suits. There's plenty of suit things that I like. It's just that like wearing a suit is just like I don't. I understand that like the 2012 like menswear era thing. That was like this big focus on like double monk shoes and stuff. I just personally, I just have a really hard time getting jazzed about it because I don't know. I like Suits by Jeffrey V. Small. That guy is really cool. But yeah, as far as just kind of like, oh, this is what's that? Like Kitsion and stuff. Like, I don't, and like Sid Mashburn and stuff. Like, those people make incredible product. It's just, it like just kind of serves the purpose, and they push it down, and you get it fitted to your body, and then you wear it to work. I don't know. I love it. But yeah, for people, I mean, there's plenty of cool stuff that you can do with tailoring. It's just that a return to tailoring just means that we're going to be seeing more guys that are just trying to like dress like Obama. And Obama dressed really great for his job, but it's all really boring clothes. I don't know. Sorry. I don't want to like yuck anyone's yum, but my vision for the JM said, my vision for the genderless fashion world is not having a male, female, and unisex area of clothing stores, but only having a unisex section. So not having any sections, just all the clothes are in a room. And then notes on items would advise fit, such as breasts, but you would choose. Okay, so this does work. Here is the complicating factor, JM. The complicating factor is that this works. This plan works really well for skinny men and women, but it does not really work for people who are not just super skinny. I think that's where the whole issue comes in, is if it's like, if you're having to accommodate breasts that are above a certain size, the clothes are shaped different. And in order for them to be clothes that don't need to be shaped different and can accommodate large breasts or small breasts, or like totally skeletally flat chests like mine, the only way you can really work around that problem that I know of and that most brands go to is this like Yeezy Supply fit, where everything is just like huge, just trash bags over your body. And I like some of the Yeezy stuff. I think a lot of the clothing is actually pretty cool, but like at a certain point, like you just look at all of it and you're just kind of like, this is not unisex. This is not splitting the genders evenly. This is not like accommodating like every sensibility. This is just very frumpy. Like in the 90s, this would just be considered like, oh, that's like what my like trashy uncle wears. Like it's yeah. I think the problem of larger sizes, well, it's not the problem of, the larger sizes are where that plan kind of breaks down. So I don't know. That's the current struggle with it. Really, I need to kind of crystallize those thoughts a little bit more, and I need to make an episode about this so we can all have a proper discussion about it. BT Dubs, if you watch the channel and you don't read the comments below each episode, you are missing out in a huge way, because I am consistently blown away by how good all of the comments are. It's crazy to me. Jaws and Pie, Jaws and Pie. I don't know how to say your name, but said, I'm an athletic dude and most designer clothing does not fit me. Can you recommend some brands that might cater to buffer dudes off the top of your head? Obviously, no Rick. Yeah, no shit, no Rick. Rick's clothing, I don't even understand who some of it's made for. It is so small. Yeah, I can't fit. I mean, I'm a very like frail body frame, and I can't fit into a lot of his clothes. And I've met people who are skinnier than me and shorter than me that can't fit into a lot of his clothes. Let's see. Recommend things that are for athletic builds. Who's the? Dang, I don't know. I don't know. Anybody else got any like good brands off the top of your head? Basically, you want to avoid like all like Japanese fashion stuff. There might be some Junya Watanabe stuff that might fit you. Some of his stuff can run a little bit big. Avant-garde stuff is probably generally going to be a tough fit. Man, I don't know. I know that like no matter what, like regardless of what body type you're in, like get a pair of Dickies that are like 3 or 4 sizes too big, take them to your tailor, and then just like show them types of pants that you want, and they'll make them look great because Dickies are just, they're so good. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I am a very frail body type, so I'm trying to remember any brands that I might know of, but I honestly I can't think of any off the top of my head. That doesn't mean there aren't any. I just don't know what they are. Someone just made fun of the fact that I'm like getting to these comments like 10 minutes later. Very true. Young Pain just asked about music. I wish I played something different, but this is like the most chill mix that I listen to. This is a DJ named Swoy, which is SWOY. He's a DJ and producer. Hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you the link to this mix if you want it. I'm happy to send it to you. Style inspirations for me are probably the biggest. Someone asked me what my style inspirations are. Probably the biggest, most influential people on my style are John Moy, who used to write for 4 Pins. What's up, bird girlfriend? No, we're just going off top with the questions. I didn't get any Discord questions this week. John Moy from 4 Pins. Right now, like Noah Johnson at GQ, Rachel Seville Tashjian is a huge inspiration. Rachel is like a god of fashion in general, but her knowledge and like expertise on menswear stuff and like kind of what's cool and why it's cool is powerful, has a powerful influence over me. What else? What else influences my style? Because I hate it when people are like, nothing influences my style. I just pick stuff out myself. Like, that's not true. But it is sometimes kind of hard to remember. As far as people go, those are probably the most influential people. Lawrence Schlossman inevitably ends up having a pretty strong effect on my stuff. He's the guy at formerly of 4 Pins, formerly of Fashion Bros, formerly of what was the old name of the new podcast is Throwing Fits, and it used to be Failing Upwards, now it's Throwing Fits. He's Oh, Larry's so yeah, Larry's cool. James, I'm kind of confused sometimes about why James is on there, but Larry's cool. Lawrence Schlossman is yeah, he's pretty good with the style, guys. Lawrence Schlossman, Larry. Okay. I'm now up to all of the comments when people were saying that me looking into the camera made them nut. That's cool. That's cool. It's fun hanging out with you guys. Oh, Dante, Jason, someone on FA recommended you on a YouTube thread, so I'm pretty new. But do you have any thoughts on the board? Yeah, I mean FA is. I've never. First of all, I never Dante. I never go to FA. So like I cruised in a couple of times and was like, oh, haha, let's see what's on. Just like, what is it, B? Just like general B, like the main 4chan, like everything images thread or whatever. And then I hit on some bodies that had been split in half in a car wreck, and I was like, I don't think this is for me, and I clicked out. But yeah, FA is obviously like pretty undeniably like hugely influential in the rise and popularity of menswear. It's sort of like swirled around. Oh, what's up? Ronan, thank you. That's one down, one Patreon subscriber down. What's up, Ronan Scar? Thank you so much, sir. Or ma'am. I actually don't know what your gender is. You'll have to let me know sometime. But thank you so much. Cool. That's one down, one to go. Somebody else needs to join the Patreon. We got 7.5 minutes left. Gotta go. But yeah, I mean, FA is obviously hugely influential. All right, cool. So we're gonna be done with this. So guess what? I got what's it called? What's that crazy movie called that might win an Oscar but probably not? It's like South Korean. Dang, how am I not remembering this? Fucking Parasite. Yes, Parasite. Thank you. Parasite. Oh, Ronan, to get into the Discord. Yeah, to get into the Discord, just go back to the Patreon page. For me, select the tier that you subscribe to, which I believe for you it was $3 a month. Open that up and then select the Discord icon. You need to already have a Discord account when you open that up. Just follow the prompts and go through. If it doesn't work, then try a new browser. Try a different browser. Kane said, how to lose a guy in 10 days. I've never actually seen that movie. I've heard the fashion is interesting in it. But I got like halfway through Parasite and then didn't finish it, and I'm probably gonna finish it tonight after I get some editing done. But yeah, Parasite, not at all what I expected. Not even like somewhat close to what I expected. It is remarkably different than what I was expecting. How far did I get? I got, without giving any spoilers, because I know a lot of people haven't seen it yet. It is quite good. Family, the owners of the house, they're back from the camping trip. They're back from their camping trip. I got like 10 minutes past that. Very confused about what. I honestly like kind of can't even guess. My guess is that they're gonna do some kind of typical thing. And if you guys fucking spoil this, I'm going to like fucking freak out. Oh yeah, guys, don't get me started on anime. Let's not do that. We're not trying to do a 3-hour stream, are we? I like went off on the topic of anime Um, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. Don't worry. um, yeah, I went off on the topic of anime a couple of streams ago. Um, my guess is that they're probably going to do something similar in Parasite that is done in a lot of anime feature-length films, where like 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through, something just buck wild happens that makes it where the movie switches from being like a movie that's relatively about stuff that can happen in real life to like something that is otherworldly. Again, I'm not, you know what, I'm not even gonna look at the comments anymore because I'm betting that somebody is gonna be a dick and spoil it. So I'm not going to look at that anymore. But yeah, we are just about done. Anybody else have any like closing questions, like short questions that can be answered? I'll pull the chat back up. Any like closeout thoughts? Not so much. Last John, next John. Last John is just this stuff I got from Hybrid. Really, I don't even know if is Champ still in here. But you guys are gonna see all the Hybrid stuff. One of those things is a cape. I got a cape that is like the fucking coolest. It's the coolest thing in my closet right now. The cape is extremely cool. Also, let's see what else. Got a few things like all at once. There's a lot of Hybrid stuff that you guys are gonna see like incorporated in the wardrobe, like some jeans and this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now that's a really, really cool construction, and some like hoodies and stuff. Hey, what's up, Frankie Ortiz? I remember Frankie Ortiz talking to me about joining Discord, and I'm glad he finally did. Thank you so much, Frank E. Ortiz. Yo, what's up, dude? Thank you so much. Do you guys see this excellent example being set for you by Frankie? Follow Frankie's example and join the Patreon and support this channel. Yeah, New York Fashion Week is, most fashion weeks really kind of border on being a scam. They are, from a company's perspective, I do not understand how a small company is expected to spend $500,000 on a 20-minute advertising event and do that twice a year. I don't understand. I don't get it. Yeah. It's a cool thing for like the huge houses and stuff, but like, yeah, if you're like a younger brand and you're doing like serious New York Fashion Week runway show stuff, because like they'll pretty much let you onto the schedule if you can create I'm sure there are some prerequisites for it, but like they'll let you on the schedule as long as you're like paying for space and paying for room and stuff. Like it's just a thing where you have to buy in. And the price is set so that they are not going to just have a 60 bajillion brands popping in. But I mean, it's so expensive, like that in Paris and stuff. It's so expensive that it's just like, I love runway shows so much, and I really hope they don't go away. But like, I truly don't understand how it makes sense for a lot of brands to be doing them. But yeah. So I also just bought the Margiela Hospital bracelet. That's one of like my big time grails. I'm still on the hunt for the like official one. But I got the MM6 version of it, which is still incredibly cool, and I'm so excited because there haven't, like, the hospital bracelets are so fucking hard to find. And I got one. I'm really excited. It's gonna get shipped out tomorrow, I think. Next John that I'm gonna get, I'm still on this like last John, next John thing. I also got some, what else? Something coming from Tef. Travail en Famille, which I did an episode about that I really, really liked. That was like my first brand feature episode. It's way back in the archives. You should go watch it because they make some beautiful stuff. Next jaunt is probably going to be something that I pick up while I'm in Paris. I'm going to Paris in June. Probably not going to buy any more clothes until then. But yeah, probably going to save up some money and like go shopping a little bit. I'm going to go shopping a lot, but probably only going to cop like 1 or 2 things while I'm there. Yeah, Tef is the ocean seashell brand. Yes, JM. Yeah. Gosh, I love them so much. They're so cool. Anyway, well, you all are the best. Thank you so much for joining me instead of watching the Super Bowl. There are actually a lot more of you here than I thought there would be, so I really appreciate y'all showing up and hanging out and asking good questions. Go and continue being wonderful. Have a good night, everyone.